Feedback can be positive or it can be constructive, but it can also be anxiety-driven for a lot of us, and often why people avoid judging altogether. But our community loves feedback. Debaters recognize the value in both positive and constructive feedback. Just keep watching and follow our formula to providing an awesome feedback experience. The first ingredient is asking for permission. Would you mind if I gave you some feedback on your speech? Or, I have some ideas to improve your speech. Can I share them with you? What this does is create a feeling of autonomy by allowing the debater to say yes or no. Sometimes the debater realizes they had a bad speech and would prefer not to receive any feedback, and that's okay. The second ingredient is to avoid blur words and be specific. A blur word is something that is not specific and can therefore mean different things to different people. For example, instead of saying, "No one can understand you," we would say, "Your voice is quiet and it was difficult to hear you." Specificity is also important when providing positive feedback, so it is clear what you want the debater to increase or diminish. If we stick with blur words, they actually won't know what to do going forward to keep repeating that behavior. The third part of the formula is explaining the impact. Because I couldn't hear you, I may have missed some information that could have won your team the debate. It gives the debater a sense of purpose, meaning, and logic from the information you gave. Now that you understand the formula, here are 3 pro tips. Number 1, start with positive feedback. By starting with positive feedback, it helps soften the blow when you provide constructive feedback and shows that it is coming from a good place. Number 2, reference the speaker rubric. This rubric is designed specifically for judges to help debaters identify what they did or didn't do. It should be relatively easy to find something the debater did well in and something they did not. As a judge, you have designated time to provide written and verbal feedback to the debaters. Once the debate is complete, the judge will start what's called a deliberation process. During a judge's deliberation time, they are simply preparing for the verbal and written feedback. Deliberation time can vary, but usually a debate tournament will expect it to take 20 minutes, followed by 10 minutes for verbal feedback. The verbal feedback is expected to address the following 4 questions. Which side won? Which arguments were impactful? What could the losing team do differently that might have won them the debate? And finally, what are their speaker point scores? This time should not be used to provide feedback to each individual debater. Instead, you are providing verbal feedback to each team in regards to the outcome of the debate. You will, however, provide the speaker point scores for each debater, which will ultimately help them understand how they performed individually. The written feedback will include the same information in the verbal feedback, as well as the category speaker scores for each debater. Judges can include any additional feedback they have, but must meet that minimum expectation. I hope this video helps you feel comfortable giving and receiving feedback. Show some support by subscribing to our channel. That's all for now. Thanks for watching and happy debating.